tax on it. We charge nothing, so that resource is coming out of the ground. The governor would support that and do it. Our previous governor did not. However, today, right now, the key is the focus on the extension of those taxes, not adding anything to confuse it, not making it look as if we're trying to add taxes. We need to keep that kind of sacred and not diffuse it at all in there. Mark?
Does anybody know if Pacifica's redevelopment agency currently or in the past has paid salaries out of the revenue?
I don't know. I don't know if they have much revenue coming in.
We never have much revenue. I was just curious if we've ever paid staff salaries out of what little comes out of Rockaway Beach.
Council members do take a salary for each time that they meet, something like $30 a session, which is about $150 or $300 a year.
Marianne, did you want to comment?
Yeah, I was just going to say I'll give it back. I don't care. It's $60 totally a year.
Well, no,
300,000 is what we're talking about in terms of
300,000.
That's about what we'll stand to give back. And Mike, can I make a question?
Sure.
Because I want
you can make the answer too.
Well, I was going to say I truly appreciate the passion with which you work for our county. I really do. And the emotion behind it, because people really care about what they're doing and how we're working in a very difficult time. But if we're going to talk about honesty, and I'm okay with the redevelopment thing. I get the problems. It's from the numbers you just gave, it's about 1/3 of the redevelopment agencies out there that cause the problems. But, and I appreciate reworking it so we can still have some economic development out of it, because we're on the edge of moving forward with some pretty significant things in our redevelopment area. But if I have to give up the $300,000, can I give it straight to my school district? Because if we're going to talk about fairness, why is it that every child in this state is not equal to the same education, right? The same basic needs. And I just want to know what we're doing to fix that.
Yeah, well, just like anything in government, in the Republican form of government we have, you have to have enough people to make that happen, to make that change. You have to have not necessarily people, but either legislators. You have to have a majority to make something like that happen. The problem is that cities that are basic aid cities into school districts, they're not going to give up that fund, those funds. And regardless, so those legislators are not going to support it. So the only way there's an example of where you would have an initiative or something that could change that, because I don't see it happening. I mean, even in San Mateo County, how could one legislator make that change? But I'm going to be, penalizing this one, this one, this one for that one, and they're going to say, well, our property taxes should go. That's the honest approach. I live in San Mateo. My property taxes, I have a basic aid district, and I should go to that city and go to that school district. Why should I share it with Pacifica or some of us? I mean, that's the thinking. So that could be an honest approach. I didn't hear very sorry.
Can we charge for people coming to our house?
You can sure do.
The open space and stuff for, county and for literally public use.
Right.
Way outside here.
And I
wish we could get more.
Yeah, no, that's true. I want to find out, Barbara, you said earlier, 30 people called and canceled for this morning, and they live in Pacifica. Hello, we came over the hill this morning. I didn't have a problem, Carol. Did you have a problem?
So to continue on what Marianne has just said about unequalized school funding, are you in communication with the Association of Low Wealth Schools? Because they've been fighting for equalized funding since Serrano v. Priest 30+ years ago. And we're not talking about dragging the basic aid districts down. We're talking about elevating us up to basic.
But how can that conversation be had today with the budget the way it is? I mean, when we're looking at, and we've been cutting $9 billion or $12 billion from education over the last few years that we owe, and because we made the commitment, we will be paying them back for that. I hate to just kind of parse the room up here. Like I keep looking at education there, government education there, but I mean, I'm actually not directly, but you're absolutely right. In fact, you know, I know Gene Mullen, who preceded me, who was the chair of the education committee. I mean, that was a real priority for him too, and it was just something that, it's like Prop 13. We're not going to see that happen soon, maybe later on. Yes, and then.
So, in continuation on the honesty part of it, and I'm really glad that the state is moving towards the honesty part, and I'm hoping that it can extend down to our districts, because our districts file dishonest budgets to our counties every single, fiscal year, stating that they have money that they don't have because it hasn't been given to the state, but they're forced to say that they have it. And it causes problems, because then that money, that amount is public record, and people come and say, well, you have all this money that we don't have, and that became a problem recently with parents upset about cuts that were being made, and they were pulling these monies off the county websites that said we had $7,000 per kid when we actually only have 5, but we're required to say that. So it would be nice
And I'm not familiar with that reporting thing, and I'm happy to, in March here, we can look at that and see how we can make that change, because that's not right. Because you're right, people think you're getting this and you're only getting this, then that's an unfortunate thing. Thank you. Let's talk about it.
Jerry, I gave you a compliment earlier.
And I appreciate
why
it.
do I have so many problems? I have so many problems is
You do a lot.
what you discussed with PG&E being negligent, there's other bureaucratic agencies that are just as negligent. And I have several, I don't know why it happens to me, but I'm a Korean veteran, okay? I signed up for medical with Fort Myers, okay? And after 1 year, I got a letter from Atlanta saying I made too much money. Well, 2 of these accounts were not mine. I don't know who they are. But I know one thing, we bailed out Wachovia and we bailed out AIG. Now, I've gone through Jackie Spear, I went to the Currency Commission, I went to the FTC, I went to the police department, and Tuesday I'm going to the IRS because I can't, after 2 years, get this resolved. That's the problem, okay? That's only one of them. Then the other thing is, I know that you run a contest every year about new laws that have to be made. I was going to submit some, but I got it in too late, okay? But there's something wrong with our judicial system here too, especially when it comes to small claims court. When people like me, that are on a limited income, can't afford a lawyer, okay? So you go to small claims court. So it's up to the judge to make the decision, right? Well, I had $17,000 damage to my family room, okay? And it was due to a faulty roofer